Tiny Hut in any edition of D&D is one of the most dangerous spells in Dungeons and Dragons because a couple of things. You think it's giving you a safe place to rest for 8 hours. It's also giving the bad guys 8 hours to set up to wait for the tiny hut to dissipate. And I'm not saying they're smart enough to realize that, but if you are in the middle of Kobold territory and an opaque perfect dome shows up, you don't think that they're going to get interested real quick. And the thing is, you can see them. They can't see you. However, they can smell and hear you. Creatures and objects can't pass through the hut. Doesn't say anything about sound, doesn't say anything about smoke, it doesn't say anything about any of those things. Creatures and objects cannot pass through. Now, it does say objects are barred. So maybe if you actually started a fire to cook your food, it would smoke out your Lehman's Tiny Hut. I'm not sure how I would play that. However, it doesn't say anything about smell. Smell is not an object. You could consider it an object. Light's not an object. So if you have light on the inside, such as a fire or something, it would also radiate through. So there's all those little fun things, but we're not even going to go there. We're just going to go with the fact of that it gives your bad guys a chance, if they're intelligent, to set up a trap to figure out what's going on. It's kind of like a spaceship crash lands, and then all the scientists gather around trying to figure out what this thing is. Same thing can happen to the goblins and kobolds and hobgoblins and everything else. And the fact that they can't penetrate it, it can't break, makes them more curious. And then if you do anything to them, now they can actually set up to ambush you. Not even ambush you, but just fight you when it drops. So it poses a bit of a problem. And this is how Tiny Hut should be. It's one thing to throw Tiny Hut down as you're traveling across the area, but when you're in enemy territory and you use it, which is most often what happens, you're not setting yourself up to be safe. You're setting yourself up for something else to wait for it to come back down. And they don't know when. They may not know what it is, but then they might, because magic is known. If you can cast it, shouldn't someone else? So therefore, it's just a matter of time before it drops. It's just something to think about. As a dungeon master, if you drop Tiny Hut in a superior, like in a dangerous area with intelligent bad guys, they're going to be waiting for you when that thing comes down. That's just what's going to happen if they find it. It's just food for thought. But the Tiny Hut spell, not only does it give you a place to rest, it also shows everyone exactly where you're at, especially when they find it. What do you think?